Today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite movies and books, making a comparison between them. The title of the book is Into the Wild, published in 1996 by John Krakauer, an American writer, maintainer, and journalist. And it talks about the true story of a young man called Chris McCandless that in 1990 decided to abandon everything, his house and his family, to start a long journey through the vast lands. After he had donated his $24,000 of savings to Oxfam. The writer tried to talk about the young Chris with having little material at his disposal, only a diary and the stories of who knew him. After graduation in anthropology in 1990, Chris decided to abandon his comfortable life, social convention, conformism, sick society, and his family, with whom he had a really bad relationship, to start a solitary travel from Mexico to North America, to search extreme freedom, using the alias of Alexander Supertramp. After, he decided to prove himself, reaching and living into the cold and undiscovered lands of Alaska. The movie Into the Wild is a 2007 film written and directed by one of my favorite actors, Sean Penn. The plot of the movie matches completely with the plot of the book, even if, as often happens, there are little differences. Reading the book, we can notice how the writer, that is also a journalist, tries to piece together the story of the young man at his best, even if, according to me, the book doesn't follow a precise line, because first tells about the adventure in the desert of the main character, and then tells about one of the adventures of the writer. Not an appropriate choice, in my opinion, since it brings the reader to not focus on the protagonist, distracting us on the path of the last said. What I appreciated about the book is the description of the varied landscapes, but difficult to imagine only through the reading. In this case, the movie, thanks to the amazing shootings of the variety of the untamed nature, is able to impress the audience. The chapters of the book dedicated to the stories of his family and the people who knew Chris are very touching because true, real, since no one knew Chris better than them. The movie that I personally preferred, because I'm a big fan of cinematography and acting, tells the story of Chris through wonderful footages, and thanks to the choice of an actor, Emil Hirsch, that plays in a sublime way the main character of this crazy story, a young man that is only searching for freedom, that doesn't want roots, but only be unconventional. He is always searching for the challenge, always ready to test himself. It seems that he wants to become a single unit with nature. Alaska will be the last stop of his journey. Here, he will find wild nature that over the time will bring him to happiness and inner peace that he was searching from a long time. The end of the movie is really moving and dramatic. In Alaska, Christopher lives eating game and berries. One day, he was starving, so he decided to eat a berry that will cause his death. During the long agony, he tries to search for help, but being completely alone, he will write on a book he was used to read. Happiness is only real when shared. Chris will die all alone. The Touch of Glass is the marvelous soundtrack that frames this amazing movie, composed of original music and songs by Eddie Vedder, leader of the Pearl Jam, and it includes tracks with a guitar played by Michael Brook and Kaki King. The songs are, according to me, definitely accurate. They leave you with an incredible sense of lightness and freedom, and they represent the perfect soundtrack of any travel started towards the unknown or the real adventure. Guaranteed, the main song of the soundtrack also won a Golden Globe for the Best Original Song in 2008. The movie, as the book, has for me a beautiful meaning. Is to say that freedom, especially in the modern society, is forgotten, or better, left out. To make room for the social convention and the obligation that this world requires us. A world always more challenging, competitive, and of apparent social gathering, where money and material things seem to be more important than anything else. I see the story of Into the Wild as an exhortation for everyone. Try to find ourselves through the union with the nature and to get away from it all to understand what is truly important in our life. While watching the movie, I had really strong feelings. The story of Chris gave me positivity and made me realize that the material things are overrated and that we usually forget about beautiful and important things. I also had feelings of melancholy, sorrow, and loneliness, because it is true that sometimes it's important to get away from the world, to find ourselves, to find our happiness. But if this happiness can be shared with someone, what good is being happy?